Variables that are declared in a block are known as variables to that block. A. Confined. B. Local. C. Global. D. Immediate. The correct answer is local. The POW and sqrt functions return an type number. A. Double. B. Float. C. Integer. D. Long. The correct answer is double. Declaring variables is advantageous because it A. avoids errors from misspelled variable names. B. helps the linker work efficiently. B. simplifies the writing of very short programs. C. all of the above. D. none of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. The generic name used for unexpected errors that occur during the execution of a program is A. infractions. B. exceptions. C. deviations. D. anomalies. The correct answer is exceptions. You add the desired type to a specific template class instantiation by placing the type's name A. between angle brackets. B. in parentheses. C. on a line by itself. D. immediately prior to the class name. The correct answer is between angle brackets. The switch variable can be of A. int type only. B. char type only. C. both int as well as char type. D. float type only. The correct answer is both int as well as char type. Reference variables and const class members. A. must be assigned values in any derived class. B. must never be initialized in a base class. C. must be initialized rather than assigned values. D. must not exist if a class is to be a base class. The correct answer is must be initialized rather than assigned values. You can code a default exception handler by creating a catch block. A. with no arguments. B. with a void argument. C. with an ellipsis as its argument. D. with an argument identical to that thrown. The correct answer is with an ellipsis as its argument. Which of the following are void functions? A. main. B. POW. C. sqrt. D. all of the above. The correct answer is main. Hiding individual components of an entry is A. polymorphism. B. encapsulation. C. scaling. D. not recommended in C. The correct answer is encapsulation. When all of the operations in a function contribute to the performance of only one task, a function has A. singular cohesion. B. tight cohesion. C. functional cohesion. D. sequential cohesion. The correct answer is functional cohesion. A function that uses variable types is called A. overloaded. B. a template function. C. a variable function. D. a virtual function. The correct answer is a template function. Having more than one function with the same name is called A. overloading. B. defaulting. C. casting. D. referencing. The correct answer is overloading. An object is A. a category of classes. B. a name given to a class. C. an instance of a class. D. the same as a class. The correct answer is an instance of a class. To access specifiers in C are A. public and private. B. int and double. C. formal and informal. D. void and free. The correct answer is public and private. A data member holds a 1 or 0 depending on whether taxes have been paid. The best identifier for this member is A. taxes. B. paid taxes. C. taxes repaid. D. code. The correct answer is paid taxes. Assume a class Derv that is privately derived from class base. An object of class Derv located in main can access A. Public members of base. B. Protected members of base. C. Private members of base. D. Public members of Derv. The correct answer is public members of base. Which of the following is an access specifier? A. Particular. B. Shielded. C. Protected. D. Safe. The correct answer is protected. Machine code is A. Edited code. B. Source code. C. The 0s and 1s that the computer can understand. D. Both B and C. The correct answer is the 0s and 1s that the computer can understand. The contents of two pointers that point to adjacent of type float differ by A. 1 bytes. B. 2 bytes. C. 3 bytes. D. 4 bytes. The correct answer is 4 bytes. Which of the following is a valid condition for an if statement? The condition should be both syntactically and logically valid. A. Age 65. B. Age 0 and 10. C. Sales 500800. D. Sales 100 sales 1000. The correct answer is sales 100 sales 1000. A pattern for creating an object is called an A. Class. B. Attributes. C. Private. D. Public. The correct answer is class. An asterisk placed after a data type means A. Array to. B. Pointer to. C. Address to. D. Located to. The correct answer is pointer to. An object is n of a class. A. Owner. B. Function. C. Definition. D. Instance. The correct answer is instance. With communicational cohesion. A. Tasks and the data are related. B. The tasks are related, the data are not. C. The data are related, the tasks are not. D. The tasks and the data are unrelated. The correct answer is the data are related, the tasks are not. The function printDataMembers is most likely an A. Inspector functions. B. Mutator functions. C. Auxiliary functions. D. Manager functions. The correct answer is inspector functions. The data type listed at the beginning of a value returning function's header indicates the type of data the function will A. Return. B. Pass. C. Receive. D. The correct answer is return. The code class Descendant virtual public ancestor indicates that other members of ancestor will be included more than once in Descendant. B. The members of ancestor will be included only once in Descendant. C. The members of Descendant will be included more than once in ancestor. D. The members of Descendant will be included only once in ancestor. The correct answer is the members of ancestor will be included only once in Descendant. Inheritance is the principle that A. Classes with the same name must be derived from one another. B. Knowledge of a general category can be applied to more specific objects. C. Functions may be used only if they have logical predecessors. D. One function name may invoke different methods. The correct answer is knowledge of a general category can be applied to more specific objects. Which of the following formulas can be used to generate random integers between 1 and 10? A. 1 rand 10 1 1. B. 1 10 1 1 rand. C. 10 rand 10 1 1. D. 10 rand 10 1. The correct answer is 1 rand 10 1 1. Format flags may be combined using the A. Bitwise OR operator. B. Logical OR operator. C. Bitwise AND operator. D. Logical AND operator. The correct answer is bitwise OR operator. Which of the following will store the number 320000 as a float number? A. Count pop float 3.2 E5. B. Count pop float 3.2 E6. C. Count pop float .32 E5. D. Count pop float .32 E7. The correct answer is count pop float 3.2 E5. The arguments that determine the state of the cout object are called A. Classes. B. Manipulators. C. Format flags or state flags. D. State controllers. The correct answer is format flags or state flags. If a class will serve as a base class, most often the base class data members are A. Private. B. Protected. C. Public. D. Polymorphic. The correct answer is public. A measure of the strength of the connection between two functions is A. Cohesion. B. Coupling. C. Dependence. D. Subjection. The correct answer is coupling. The following statement where T is true and F is false: TTFT. A is true. B is false. C is wrong. D not applicable in C language. The correct answer is true. Which of the following statements declares a variable that can contain a decimal number? A. Dec pay rate. B. Dec hourly pay. C. Float pay rate. D. Float hourly pay. The correct answer is float hourly pay. The statement int num2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6. A assigns a value 2 to num1 2. B assigns a value 4 to num1 2. C gives an error message. D assigns a value 3 to num1 2. The correct answer is gives an error message. A program will have one function prototype for each function defined in the programmer-defined section of the program. Assume that the programmer-defined section is located below the main function. A. True. B. False. C. D. The correct answer is true. The standard input stream which refers to the keyboard is called A. Sen. B. Cout. C. Sten. D. Stout. The correct answer is Sen. If the code and fee arrays are parallel, the fee that corresponds to the code stored in the code 3 element is located in the element A. Code 2. B. Code 3. C. Fee 2. D. Fee 3. The correct answer is Fee 3. Access specifiers are followed by A comma. B. A semicolon. C. A colon. D. 2 colons. The correct answer is a colon. Elements in an array are identified by a unique A. Data type. B. Order. C. Subscript. D. Symbol. The correct answer is subscript. To include the double quotes as part of the control string, we use the symbol A, B, C, D. The correct answer is 2 null 5 10 null null 1 1. Student senior is an A. Constructor call with no arguments. B. Object instantiation. C. Constructor call with all default arguments. D. Prototype for a function that returns a student object. The correct answer is prototype for a function that returns a student object. The statement int in 4th November 2013 17105. A. Assigns the value 13 to 2. B. Assigns the value 17 to n2. C is wrong, it gives an error message. D. Assigns the value 18 to n2. The correct answer is assigns the value 17 to n2.